Treasure Island, San Francisco, clip event 9. Can we trust these island power brokers when they say we're safe from radiation? Thursday, July 31, 2014, AVCHD 277, Carol Harvey, videographer.
Catherine wants to know what came down that funnel. And it's right above a wine tasting
Or
sign.
what was it allowed to release? I mean,
What was it allowed to release, like back in the Navy days?
it's like a thing, you know, just
sitting there looking dangerous. Maybe they released, ship fuel fumes into the air from it.
yeah, and like all these wineries. Do people realize where this wine is being produced and stored before they're drinking it?
Do they use the water from the island in this wine?
That's another thing.
Do you know whether they do?
I'm pretty sure they must. It takes a lot of water to it takes a lot of water to clean, to do, production.
I was wondering if maybe they brought it all in from off the island. You don't think so?
They don't.
So this water on this island runs through pipes that are aging. There's a bunch of heavy metals on the inside of the pipes.
It has to.
It's scary.
I mean, this is not like an old farm barn that's been sitting on organic soil forever. There's an empty tank right over there. This was a hangar. They weren't making, donuts in here, for God's sake. I mean, what do you think you're entering into when you go into these places? And because it looks, rough, you think it's cool? This is what irritates me, okay? And I don't disagree that I think this building is one of my favorite on the island. The shape of it, the color.
The color is
Like,
this
it's
kind of a khaki.
It's just super cool. But when I asked if any of these buildings were rentable, like about 5 or 6 years ago, they denied it. So why are the wineries up here? Why the wineries are up here is because...
Is the name Rich Ravetti going to come into the conversation?
Rich Ravetti has a lot to do with the vineyards.
And Catherine, who is Rich Ravetti?
Rich Ravetti is the person who is in charge of the real estate end for companies. He's in the commercial real estate end for TIDA.
And isn't he also on the TIDA board?
Yes, he's
Treasure
on the TIDA
Island
board.
Development Authority board.
Actually, he is not on the board. He works for TIDA.
He works for TIDA as in what capacity?
He's the commercial real estate person.
So he's not on the board. I heard he was on the board.
No, he works in the office though. I think he was in the past, which is interesting because here you have a whole hangar that's used, hangars and buildings and everything right in the front again.
Right. The winery is in building 1, which is the first hangar.
Right. And now they are...
And Rich Ravetti runs the winery.
Yeah, and now the winery is suddenly taking over a lot of the catering and things that are in the front that used to be Wine Valley Catering. They retired, so they've stopped. So now the winery and TIDA are renting those buildings out. And interestingly enough, Jack Nathanson used to be one of the people involved with Wine Valley Catering. He also works for TIDA.
I've met him.
So that's 2 out of 3 people who have a financial interest, and I think there's only one person allowed after that, so let's find out who they are. Which one of the other 4 or 5 people on that board have an invested interest out here, because if you go over 3, you're breaking the law.
Okay, and those are the people who are going to make all that money off this place when it's redeveloped, and they have all that eco village with those huge towers.
John Stewart has SFDPH as a client.
That's San Francisco Department of Public Health.
Chicago Bridge and Iron doing the remediation work runs the EPA labs. So you've got all these people with this conflict of interest involved in this. And so all the people who say to Catherine Lundgren, when she questions whether she should trust them or not, you give me one good reason why I should. I'm speaking the truth. I don't hear any of them that know this same information and maybe even more saying anything to benefit the people out here except for, oh, you're safe. Bullshit. And you prove that we're safe. Prove that we're stinking safe. I want you to prove it. Prove it.
The Navy says over and over again, you don't need to worry about the radiation. The levels aren't that high, and you're safe. Who else says you're safe?
Who's out here that
Who
isn't
else
going to profit?
says they're safe? Does some other entity beside the Navy tell them they're safe?
DTSC. And
that's the
hey,
Department of Toxic Substance Control for the state of California.
And they were just investigated for having conflicts of interest with their investments in Chevron, in some of the biggest polluters in the state of California. So how can we trust them exactly?
And they're supposed to be watchdogging the Navy. So the watchdogs are being watchdogged.
So I'm crazy? No, I just don't trust them because there's a lot of reasons to doubt them.
Yes.
Before I begin to trust them. So when you set yourself up like that and you know, it looks like a duck, it probably is a duck.
Quack, quack, quack.
Yeah.
Tell me, does TIDA, do any of the TIDA people tell the residents they're safe?
Yes, they've all done it.
Okay.
They've taken every opportunity to do it. Bob Beck has done it a million times lately, and then kaboom, we find another piece. And inside a place that was rented as of 2009 and potentially chosen as a home for someone to be forced to move down to from YBI. How do we trust these people? Just because you want to put your head in the sand and be nice? Screw that. I'm sorry. Nice gets you killed.
Yep.